My name is Skip Sims, Senior Vice President of Ann Arbor Spark. I also am the Managing Member of the Michigan Angel Fund and member of the Michigan Angel Community. It Takes Money is a series of podcasts featuring angel investors and experts who offer insight on how to invest in startups. In these podcasts, we'll discuss the many aspects of angel investing and why they're choosing to invest in Michigan. Hey, Michael Melfi, welcome.
Thank you so much, Skip.
Michael is an attorney here in Ann Arbor, works with the law firm Bodman. And as you know, we take these podcasts and talk about angel investing. And so we're not going to talk about necessarily the legal aspects of angel investing and get into those weeds.
Sure.
I want to talk about the ecosystem and investment opportunities here in Michigan. And so one of the questions I often get asked is, are there really that many startups in Michigan to invest in, good investable opportunities? You have made a career out of working with startups, entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So what's your take?
I think there's a ton, or I wouldn't be here, right?
Right.
I happen to think that the Michigan ecosystem is very robust in deals. I think where it gets a misconception is that people have a certain appetite or industry knowledge that they know, and they only look for those deals.
Right.
There's really deals across the board, across the industries, and there's a lot of opportunities out there, from whether they host a pitch club, or as I'm looking at deals personally, or on the attorney side looking at and helping clients. You see a lot of deals out there, and the number one thing that they all struggle with, whether or not it's what they're really struggling with, is the money. They're not finding enough angel investors to be able to at least look at their deals, to talk with them, and if it's not right fit for them, introduce them to someone else.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about, first of all, diversity. Are we seeing a lot of industries represented here, or just a handful? Are they mostly just life science companies and some IT companies, or is it more diverse?
It's definitely more diverse. I mean, I think we get a rap as being the motor city, the motor state, and so everyone thinks what we do
and extension
manufacturing because of that. And so we get people thinking that all we do is manufacturing or maybe advanced manufacturing.
Yeah.
I think you and I both know it expands well beyond that. I think it is somewhat regionalized in the state as you kind of go across the state. Different people have things they kind of like, whether it be because of the economics of the industries that are there, or the universities, or the research being done. But when you look at it across as a region, we have plenty of different deal flows from different industries. It's very diverse, right? I think if you give me an industry, I think I could think of a company that I've seen. Don't put me on the spot, but I would say that they're out there, and I think it's just more of kind of some blinders out there that, hey, we always look at manufacturing, or Michigan's been known for that, and so they don't realize that we have other things going on. When you look at some of the powerhouse and legacy companies that we have that are founded here, or the families that founded them here, they're pretty diverse compared to what people think as far as what we have, as far as the companies that really were founded here and created here. I mean, I don't have to share this with you, you know this, but don't forget, we were the Silicon Valley 100 years ago.
That's right. Right.
And that was something that got us on the map. And
back then, while the auto industry was evolving, but you also had Kellogg and Dow and a whole lot of other industries at that time around here.
Which are still around.
Which are still going.
Which still have...
Doing well. Whole furniture industry.
The furniture industry on the west side of the state.
Yeah.
I mean, we have that here.
Yeah. So the Business Leaders for Michigan just came out with their report for this year. And one of the things they said that is still... we need to do as a state is be more diverse. We definitely need to keep heading down the path to diversity. And you're finding that with our entrepreneurs and the startup companies they're creating. They fall outside of the more traditional industries we're familiar with here.
They are starting to fall outside. I think as an expat, they kind of moved back here a decade ago now. It's hard to say it's been a decade, but after a decade, when I came back here and living on the West Coast, they told me like, hey, it's the ecosystem there is going to mature. You're going to watch it mature when you're back there, and you've seen that happen. You've seen more companies from different sectors come out, and they're continuing to grow. And that takes time. We have a great brain trust here in the state, and we're churning out some really good deals. And you're seeing, I think, year after year, it's getting better. In fact, if you look at the recent study, there's more and more opportunities for new deals. They need more money. The good deals need more money. It's not that we're trying to find good deals. We need more money for the good deals out there.
Well, you raise an interesting point here, and that is the other question investors are asking is, are our entrepreneurs mature enough? Is the ecosystem doing a good enough job educating the entrepreneur, particularly the first times, to become investable? Do they know how to really create a business? Do we still need to attract more management talent, sales talent? What are you seeing in the way of those entrepreneurs and their ability to?
That's a great question and
company?
a tough question, right? It's a catch-22. What comes first? Do you start making the investments and start getting them there, or do we wait till they show up to start making investments, right? It's easy to say, well, you don't have enough mature entrepreneurs. I would argue, if you look at statistics, successful entrepreneurs typically are around 40 years old. They're typically been in an industry at least 6 years. They've had multiple experiences going through different types. We have a lot of those types of people here right now.
We do.
And so do we have the right talent? Yes. Do they have the quote unquote pedigree of, hey, I was at X company, I won't say any names on the West Coast, and then I bounced to this company, and I've been part of 4 exits, right? You and I just sat through some pitches where people were talking about they had 3 exits.
Yeah.
And when they got pressed, they just happened to be working for the company that had some exits.
Right.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean some of it didn't rub off.
Didn't rub off, but that because they just have
Yeah.
there's more going on, so they get to say that more often.
Exactly. There's more going on.
But I don't think that makes them a better entrepreneur.
But there's plenty going on here.
Yeah.
And I think that's my.
100.
I'm just trying to get validation. There's a lot going on here.
Just down the road, there's a new electric motors company.
Yeah.
That could have picked anywhere in the United States.
Yeah.
And they picked here.
Yeah.
That speaks a lot to, I think, what's
Right.
going on. And I think you're seeing, there's companies that are being enticed to leave and they're not leaving.
Well, and the big unicorn, one of the unicorns here recently is in the security space.
Yep.
And so it's not just manufacturing.
It's not.
So that's my point.
Yeah, I would totally agree with
Thanks
you on
for
that.
validating that.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks for being with me.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate you being here.
Have a great one.
All right, thank you.
You bet.
Thank you for taking time to listen to It Takes Money. For more of our podcasts, visit AnnArborUSA.org/podcasts or MichiganAngels.org. Thanks to the Ralph C. Wilson Jr. Foundation for making these podcasts possible. And let me leave you with this from John D. Rockefeller. It is a mistake to assume that the possession of money in great abundance brings happiness. Pleasure comes not from the possession of money, but from the ability to do things for others, which brings satisfaction.